Sorry guys, one sec. I have to get myself correctly seated. Okay, so welcome to What If Deku was reincarnated in Isekai, whatever the Isekai. So, everybody might know this picture as whatever that character in an anime show. Yeah, pretend that this suit, this bear costume does not have that weird red eye and the weird grin. Yeah. Just let me show you. One sec. Let's pretend this right here is gone. How about a better idea? Nope, that's not working. Yeah, this and this, pretend that doesn't exist. So, when Deku was born, he was born quirkless, like some animes I do is, because it's easier. Well, this is how it got down. So, Deku went to the quirk doctor with his mother. His mother was excited for him to get a quirk, and she was hoping for him to get a very strong quirk so he could be rich. But when Izuku went to the quirk doctor, the doctor saw that he had a quirk. This quirk was dormant, and it would stay dormant if nothing good or bad happens to him. Either if everything bad happens to him and nothing good happens, he's not going to get this quirk. But if everything good happens and nothing bad happens, he's not going to get this quirk either. So he has to be in a terrible mood and a good mood at the same time. Let's read. That's how I'm going to say it is. So, he said, I'm bored. Let's just tell the mother that he's quirkless. Not many people these days care if they're quirkless or not. He can get a job and stuff like that. So he went up to Inko and said, I have bad news and good news. Which one do you want to hear first? She says, I want to hear the bad news first. And he said, I am sorry to say, but your son is quirkless. And she was infuriated, pissed, would kill him right now because there's no point of him living. She thought that. And she's like, what is the good news? Well, it seems like your son could have a quirk, but he looks more like he wouldn't. He doesn't have the bone, but he looks like he has the other stuff that tells that there's a quirk there. But we're thinking he's quirkless. So your son might never have a quirk, but might have it dormant. And she was infuriated because he had a chance of being quirkless. And I'm trying to get this Isekai fast. So he was sad and all that. His 4-year-old mind thinking that he can never be like All Might. So what Deku did was he was gonna cry in his room. He was thinking that and watch All Might videos. His mother says okay and leaves with him. Instead of driving to their house, she drives to a different person's house. Izuku doesn't know who this person is. It's one of Inko's it's supporters, something works with them. And she has a teleportation quirk. Now, everybody might see how this is going, if so many of you guys can think of this. So she knocks on the door and opens it, the lady, and she says, hello, Inko, it's nice seeing you. What are you doing out here? Usually never visit. Unless it's something important. She says, yeah, my son is quirkless. And she's like, oh, I think I know what you're going to ask me. Come in. We don't want to see this outside. So they go to a room with no windows. Well, windows, but they're curtained over. really not easy to see through unless you have a quirk that can see through literally almost everything. And she says, Azuku, please stand right in front of me. Now, you want to know something about my quirk? Ah, yes. He's excited to learn. Well, my quirk is teleportation. I can teleport somebody anywhere they want to. But I have a side effect. I do not know where the person gets teleported to. All I know is how far. Sometimes I can't tell, and sometimes I can. Either I have to think of a destination, like if I think of another world. I don't know where in another world. And just, yeah, like that. And he's excited. So she says, Izuku, I'm going to teleport you a little bit across the room. And he's like, yay! What else? She teleports him to another dimension, another universe, another plane of existence, nowhere near Earth. Not even in their universe. So, Deku opens his eyes, because she told him to close it, or he might get a little sick. And when he opens it, he sees a jungle. Trees. And he hears just animals. A lot of them. So, when he opens his eyes, he is terrified. Because he doesn't know where the fuck he is. All he knows is that he got teleported. Now he's remembering what she said about her quirk. And he's thinking he's in another dimension. Another plane of universe, not on Earth. Because he doesn't know anywhere on Earth that looks like this. He's a smart child. He usually watched a ton of heroes and where they were and adventure videos so he could get used to stuff. And he went on a ton of adventures with his mother. Bang, bang, boosh, he doesn't know where the fuck he is. So, when I'm gonna make this, so Izuku, when he was teleported, since he was teleported across universes, across space of time, instead of his body getting teared up, his clothes did. He is so-called naked only with underwear on. Because I'm not making it that way. So he is trying to look for where to go when he sees a camp. Well, it looks deserted. Well, it is deserted. Nobody's there. When he went there, he found some clothes. These clothes had a note on it being like, if anybody finds these, the second you wear them, you can't unwear them without dying. You can only change them, you cannot change in them. So the second you have them on is the second you have them forever. Izuku didn't care. There was no other clothes around and he didn't want to be naked with underwear on. So he put them on. And bing bong boosh, they were stuck the second he zipped up and patched it. He could put up the hoodie and put it down at will. But he could roll up his sleeves and roll down them. Roll up his pant legs and stuff like that. But he could not take it off. It shrank to the body size he needed. But enough for him to breathe and enough for him to move. But it could not get taken off. It could not rip. It did not rip at all. And all that. So, Deku started living in the camp until he heard people coming. He is now 6 when this happened. He figured out how to live, what food. He found a notebook and a writing utensil and started writing down what plants were poisonous. He sometimes picked the plant and put it on the page and found some stuff to keep it on, like some syrup or like stuff that's sticky for a long period of time. Or he drew it and stuff like that and named it and started writing stuff about it. He usually got some animals before he fed it to them first and see what happened to them, and then he ate it. Deku figured out his teeth were becoming sharp, very, very sharp. Since Deku had no mirror, he couldn't see his face and his hair and his eyes, but he could feel his teeth and see his hands were growing nails, very sharp. He had nothing to clip them on, so he just started sharpening them on trees and stuff like that and left claw marks, like a bear. So Deku was thinking, since this onesie was cursed, since the bear suit was cursed, I said onesie because I want to, was cursed, it started making him like a bear. He could feel tail growing on him, and there was a hole in the suit, so his tail went through it. It was a black and white tail. He felt ears popping up, and he chopped off the ears on the onesie suit. It let him, and his ears popped through. I do not know what bear ears look like. Just pretend they are like that. I don't know. Actually, he only grew a tail. The ears didn't pop in. So his hearing just grew, and he grew a tail. A puppy tail, not a big one, just a bear tail. Do bears even have... Alexa, do bears have tails?
Here's something I found on the web. According to reference.com, unlike many animals, bears do not have tails.
Okay, then Deku did not grow a tail. There was just a tail on the onesie. I do not know that much about animals, even though I'm the... Okay, so when Deku was hearing people, he ran away from the camp, taking some of the items and putting them in a backpack and running away. He didn't run far, he just ran far enough to hide. Deku was not, some plants were not poisonous to him and some were, but some were poisonous to humans, and so like, say a plant that was poisonous to him was not poisonous to other people. So he's becoming bear, but some plants that were poisonous to humans are not poisonous to him, and some that were poisonous to humans are not poisonous to him, and some that were are still poisonous to him. So stuff like that. So he forgot his journal, and when he was looking at the people, it was a group of like 5 people. They looked like they were wearing uniforms, like blue uniforms, blue robes with like armor on them and weapons with them. So they found the camp. One of them was like, "Oh, guys, come, look what I found. It's a camp. There must be people around here somewhere. We could lay him down here and helping." So Deku also figured out stuff like medicine and what's like can be poison. He makes poisons and medicine. He knows how to do that. He can heal with some of the herbs as well. So like a skull he can put over it heals it. So there's healing stuff as well. So they laid this one guy. So this is Deku's point of view. I saw some people coming. I ran to the bushes. I heard them coming. They were one was yelling so loud. It's annoying. And then I saw two other guys carrying this one guy. He looked injured. I saw blood coming out of him. I smelled. It was a medium-sized cut with not that much blood. It was healing. So what I did was, when they were asleep, I went to go get herbs. When they were laying him down and doing stuff, I went to go get herbs, make the medicine they need, and stuff like that. And when I came back, I think they found my journal. I forgot it, like I always do to some stuff when people come. Not that many people stay, though, for long and don't find stuff. They usually just walk past and stuff like that. So, when they were reading it, one of them was reading it aloud to everybody. Day 1. Bear journal. Huh. We got name for a journal, but okay. Flip to the first page now. I want to listen. Fine. Day 1. I woke up in the forest. I didn't know where I was. All I saw was trees and was hearing animal sounds. I walked for a couple of hours and found this abandoned camp. When I got there was some supplies still and a lot of blood everywhere. No bodies, though. No sign of struggles of anything, and no signs of bodies. No bones, no food at all. All there was camp supplies and a lot of blood everywhere. I didn't know if it was animal blood or human blood. Day 2. I am gonna go out. Try and find some stuff. I'm gonna use this journal to write some of my findings, plants and stuff like that. The next few pages are about plants. He wrote, green is gonna be plants, orange is gonna be animals, black is gonna be my writing, and other stuff like that. Next page is about some plants. I don't know the name of these plants, I'm just gonna name them. The obelisk plant. It is a red plant with a green stem. When it is ripe, it is black. When it is not, it is orange. When it is in medium stage, it is red. Do not eat it when it is red. Do not eat it when it is orange. The only good time is when it's black. Oh my fucking god. One sec. Okay, is this recording? Okay. Redo page 2. I'm gonna add that they found 2 journals. I forgot the whole thing. So on page 2, I found this camp. It was abandoned and a lot of blood. A lot of blood everywhere. I do not know if it was human blood or animal blood. I do not know if people were, because I could not find any bodies of anything. No bears, no animals, no humans, nothing. Not even bugs. There was no bugs around here for some reason. So, another person came and said, hey guys, look, I found a second journal. It says plants. It says, plants you should not touch or you should use. Poisonous, or healing, or good to eat. Let's finish this journal first. It skips to it says, when I looked around the camp, I found this thing. It said it has a note. He put the note in it. do not touch this thing right here, right, this onesie. It will stick to you forever until the day you die. I'm thinking that that's the reason that there was so much blood, is because the people had the onesie on and wanted it off. I do not know why. I did not really care. I was halfway naked right now and I put it on. It fit to my size. I could pull the sleeves up and pull the pants up. I could put it down and down. I could pull off the hood, but I could not get it off. It will not rip at all. And that. It says like stuff about his other days until like it skips a few days and then stuff like that and all that. Okay, can we read the plant journal now? Ugh, fine. Medicine for Healing is on pages. 2 books. Actually, I think there's 2 books in this. I think there's 2 books. Actually, no, he found 2 books. Healing and Poison. Stuff for healing small wounds. If you want to heal a small wound, do not, and I repeat, do not use any plant without, do not try to make this stuff without a good healer. I have used these on myself, and I figured out the bad way. I got bigger wounds, bigger cuts. I had to figure out how to close them. I did eventually. I still have the wounds to this day. Plant number 1. Echinosoplias. A plant that looks like an ordinary berry bush. If you find a berry bush that has purple berries, that is a poisonous. Anything that is purple, do not use unless you're using it to make poison, or you're a good enemy and a good person to use plants, and you know how to get rid of the poison, because I do not know how to get rid of it. I know there's some ways you can use it still, but do not use purple and that many ingredients. So when they were reading it, I'm not going over every plant that he knows of, it's a ton. So he comes back with the red tea, and he acts like he's surprised. And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know I had guests. Well, hello." He goes up, and people, the group thinks that he's a bear, a small bear, and tries to attack him. And then they look at him. They were gonna attack him, then they look at it, he was walking out, and then they see his face and figure out it's a human. And that's the person that was wearing the onesie, it seems like. So he started walking without them even noticing, without them even, with them not even, because they were surprised that person survived this long. So they're actually trying to find out how old he is and stuff like that, and like trying to figure out stuff about him, but they're just speechless. He walks into the tent with the person, and then he puts the medicine down, and then he since the person's asleep, it was a good time, and he started putting the medicine on, and then they got out of the daze and then ran in and be like, "Hey, don't touch him." He's like, "Shut the fuck up. I'm healing him." I know this is good enmity. He had a small cut. Not that bad. Small cut? That's a big cut. What do you mean? A big cut is when your arm gets cut off, or like something like that. What would be a tiny cut? There's no such thing as a tiny cut. There's a small cut, medium cut, and then a large cut. What would a medium cut be? I don't know, cut down your whole entire fucking chest. Just let me continue. So when they're watching Deku do his herbs, he starts to heal after he's finished. Then Deku gets out of the area, gets out of the tent, telling them, once he can walk again, get out. It's like, don't you not want to live here alone? I've been living here alone since I was fucking 4. I can live here longer. 4? How old are you, How old are you, kid? Sure. 12? I'm 12. So I've been living here for 8 years. Actually, no, what the fuck? He's 6. Jesus Christ, Caitlin. I already said this a few minutes ago. Yeah, I don't give a fuck if I said my name in the video. I don't care. I don't care if people hunt me down. Okay, so when Deku was saying he was 6 and he was here since he was 4, so he's been here for 2 years and he doesn't care that if he stays here longer. So when Deku was what is it? They're like, but could we repay you for saving him? You could have. Can I have my journals back? Sure, but that's not really repaying. It is to me. I don't really give a fuck what you do. As long as you leave my camp. Can we return? Sure. I don't care. Visit whenever you want. Okay. So, when he's rested up, they leave. The guy thanks him for saving him. And Deku is like, I don't care. I want to get back to what I was doing. And so they leave. When they leave, Deku goes and gets something. 2 tiny little bears. Small. They're small bears. Like baby bears. They don't know where their mommy is and they think Deku is their mom. Because Deku found them and they just started thinking he was their mom. So they are a black and white bear. And Deku, by his looks and stuff like that, they think he is their mama. So Deku doesn't care and starts treating them like they're his kid. And when the people stop coming back, because they were a group of royal people, and a group of royals learned about Deku and wanted to come and thank them because they were a strong group of people, but they were trying to defeat a strong animal and got wounded. So they went and were going to try and try and ask him if they could do anything because they really wanted to. And when they got there, it was like 2 months later. The baby bears were almost fully grown, and Deku then he rides on them now, and they Deku rides on them. Sorry, I'm trying to do something. So Deku can ride on them, and he likes sleeping on one of them right now, and the other one's just sleeping with him. Deku, then they two come. We're gonna attack the bears, and then Deku wakes up being like, "Oh, it's you guys again. What the hell do you want?" In their world, there's no such thing as cussing, so they don't know what a cuss word is. They just think it's like a way of talking for him. So yeah, he can get away with cussing all he wants. So when they go to him, like the two people, and then they say, "We have a proposition for you. If you want to come to our kingdom, I am the king, and this is my wife. She's the queen. We were wondering if you wanted to live in the kingdom as somebody as a high up, because you saved as a healer or stuff like that." Sure. I'm fine with that. A free place to stay. Not getting attacked every night. Not having to kill somebody every night. Can my children come? You have children? You're only 6. I don't mean I had sex and she gave birth. These are my 2 little adopted children. I found them. They are now mine. They are younger than me. They are only 2 weeks old. You found them the day you healed us. Uh-huh. That's why I was off. Oh. If that was the way, okay. You can. Ah, good. So the people were in a carriage while Deku had the 2 bears walking next to them on the carriage, and Deku was sleeping on the white one. This time instead of the black one. They opened the door saying, because it was walking slowly, being like, "Are you sure you don't want to get in here?" "Yeah, these are comfy." Wait, actually, he asked them to stop because they were still in the middle of the room. He shrinks both of the bears with some magic that he had, and he gets them to sitting on him while he's sitting on when he's sitting in the carriage. The knights are walking around the carriage while the king, queen, and were sitting in it, talking with Deku. They never asked him his name the whole time. They just said their name was Fiona and Gareth. Gareth and Fiona. I don't know names. Gareth and Fiona. So Gareth, yeah, no. Alric. Jesus Christ, I can't say all. Alric and Fiona were both talking with Deku, and then they say, "Oh yes, our names are Alec and Fiona. We are perfectly fine with you calling us that." "Well, my children are named Ying and Yang. The white one is Ying and the black one is Yang. My name is," he's trying to think about alibi because he doesn't like his name anymore. Trying to think it fast. Pretend this is fast. He says he doesn't actually remember his name. They're sad that they don't know his real name. And he says, you guys can just name me. I'm fine with it. I want to name Deku Yin Yang for some reason. Malalik? How about we just say Izuku? How about he says his name is Izuku? And they are fine with it, and then when they get to the palace, people are trying to crowd around the area, and the guard is trying to get them off. When they get to the palace, all the people, the king and queen, gather all the servants around and people in the castle and say, "This is gonna be the new mage." That was the word I was trying to look for. Mage. A healer. Sorcerer. Something like that. And they also whispered to Deku if he wanted to be adopted by them. And he said yes. And they stood up and said, "This is also our new son." So they didn't know about how Deku couldn't change. And when Deku got his new room, Deku did not like it at all. He absolutely hated it. It was so weird to him because he wasn't used to this. So Deku at lunch acted like he liked the room, but they could tell that he didn't. So they said, "How about you go around the area and with our butler, Sebastian, and figure out which room you want." And he's like, "Okay." He finds a room with black and white stuff, and the Sebastian was gonna walk by it, but then he opened the door. Izuku opens it and says, "Oh my gosh, I love this room." He was carrying his bears with him. And Yin and Yang ran in and absolutely loved it. And so did he. Sebastian turns around being like, "Where did Izuku go? Oh my gosh." He walks past and then he sees the door open and he's like, "Prince?" Salvus? I want to name Izuku Salvus. Meals? How does that sound? I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of a name that name Izuku for his new name. So when Izuku was in the room, he absolutely loved it, and he claimed it as his. So when Izuku also figured out that there was a secret room in here. He hid it behind a bookshelf and stuff like that. He made it so it was very hard to get past. His yin and yang bears could grow a little bit. The bed was big and stuff like that for yin and yang to sleep on. Izuku also changed the room around some stuff. So I feel like my hairline is just wrong for some reason. I have so many knots in my hair. Okay, so Sebastian stayed with Deku until the king and queen was gonna announce Deku as the new adopted son, because they never will be able to have a child because the wife couldn't have any. So when it was time, because they announced that there was going to be an announcement about something important, they go to the balcony where they announce to the crowd, and then Sebastian brings Deku. Sebastian was trying to put Deku in a different thing. He said no every single time. He couldn't. He also said he cannot. Sebastian says he can. Sebastian thinks it's because it's like too formal for him. And then he says, I literally cannot take off this suit. It is stuck to me. Try to. Sebastian tries to get it off, like the zipper will not go down. It will not unbutton. It will not do anything. The only thing he can. So he just puts the suit over his onesie. Puts the hood down, pulls up the sleeves all the way and stuff like that. So when Deku gets out there, when he's halfway out there, he takes off the suit and gives it to one of the maids and be like, don't tell them I didn't use this. Just put it back in the room. So he's walking behind Sebastian. Sebastian doesn't notice. And when he gets there, Sebastian looks around and be like, where did the suit go? It's like, I don't know. It was on me and then it vanished. No magic. So when he gets out there, his bears were with him, and so when Deku was, the king and queen announced that they have a new healer and chemistist person, magic user, anything like that, and that he is their adopted son. He is 6 and he is talented. So that's how Deku was gonna live. He lived a life like that, like royalty, for a while, and he finally noticed he had black and white hair with a red eye and a black eye. Since he had nothing to claw on, his nails started growing long, and he started clawing on the walls in his bedroom and stuff like that. He told people not to come in and stuff like that because he didn't want to. Then one day the maid came in, yelped because of how many claws marks there were on literally almost everything, and she told the queen and king to go to their son's room, the prince's room, and they came in and saw the claw marks and Deku sleeping. They thought it was the bears. They were gonna punish the bears for doing this, and that's why Deku didn't want them in the room, because Deku woke up before, and he was like, I can explain, and they're like, we know it's the bears. You don't have to explain. He's like, oh jeez, it's not the bears. Their claws aren't even that long. It's mine. They are surprised, and they're like, how? Well, the second I put this onesie on, I started getting the look like a bear. Black and white one. My nails started going long, and so did my teeth. I can only eat meat. That's why you don't eat vegetables. Yeah, I can only eat hard food. So if you want me to eat vegetables, ice the vegetables. I think I can eat carrots, stuff like that, but I don't know about anything else. And they were fine with that. So they started like taking care of Deku and all that. So that's how Deku's life was. I'm gonna make a part 2, and it's gonna be, Deku's life is gonna be like that from 6 to 12. And I'm gonna end this off here. So goodbye.